Sorry. I want to put my foot there.
Yo, what up, peeps? Back at it again. It's your boy, Victor Kwan. How are you, Alexa?
I'm okay. I just thought of this article I saw on Facebook that talks about, like, the YouTube vlogger voice. And it's just like, hey guys, what's up? And it's like very like loud and like kind of yelling and then like enunciating. I don't know. I'm still questioning my intentions in life.
Okay, so what did we just watch?
We just watched Harambe.
We watched King Harambe.
We watched Kaong.
Kaong or Kang?
Kangkong.
Kangkong?
Kangkong.
I'm not a big fan of Kangkong.
I don't think I eat that often enough to know what it is.
My parents like kangkong.
I feel like it's gonna fall. I'm gonna be sad.
My parents like kangkong, like to eat kangkong when watching King Kong.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Skull Island is the name of this
Skull Island.
the sequel, I guess you would say.
Yeah, I was like, where's Jack Black?
Remind me though, was there a King Kong? Maybe not, but was there a King Kong movie in between the early 2000s Naomi Watts, Jack Black one?
Like before that one?
No. In between, from now until back then.
Maybe.
Since back then.
Shoot,
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
there was, and I feel like John C. Reilly was in that movie too.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel I might be wrong, but
Maybe he was in a different kind of movie though. I feel like I do kind of remember some kind of movie that he was in where there's like something, but that's all I got.
sure, but you do not need. Wow, we're gonna give people a headache.
Yeah.
But you do not need to have seen any previous films. This film works on its own as a film. And well, what are some of the things you liked about it?
I give up. It's being annoying. I didn't really have much of a desire to watch it, so that's why we're watching it on a Tuesday on a half.
Yeah, it was
Half-off
kind
day.
of. It was kind of. I mean, I did want to see it. It's just, I wasn't going to beat myself up over not seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm actually pretty glad that we watched it.
Yeah.
Tell me though, what did you like about it?
It felt very much like those like 3D rides at Universal.
Sure. Yeah, especially
Like-
when he holds the helicopter and you're seeing out the helicopter door.
Yeah. It was a very like
like
thrills driven.
Imagine him doing that to the tram at Universal Studios.
Yeah. Thrills driven movie. Kind of reminded me it kind of has the same vibes as like the Jurassic World in terms of like, you know, animals and like humans and then two big animals like fight each other, and it's very like Avatar Pocahontas ish, and like King Kong should have just started singing Colors of the Wind, and then Tom Hiddleston could like fall in love with him,
Oh gosh.
you know.
Okay.
But is King Kong, is it a girl? What if King Kong's a girl?
Yeah, Alexa's like, where's his junk?
Yeah. That's the question.
Well, he's a king, so he must be a King Kong.
Backing.
Or
He's
maybe,
backing.
What? He's backing it. He's backing it?
He's a backing. Anyway.
Anyway. So what I liked about the film, I think that they established a lot of good characters, I think.
Yep.
You know, the lore, the backstory, it's not an easy thing to do when you have like King Kong who doesn't speak or anything. It's not easy to tell the backstory of this character.
Yeah.
But we got a good amount of that.
Yeah.
And that was pretty interesting. You know, the mix of like scientists and military that's set during the Vietnam War era, which I thought was pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
What they did, they even used like Vietnam War era weapons.
They like
napalm.
it's like they like paralleled it like on many layers, you know, because it's like the whole like war and like people versus the government and the relationships with other countries, and
Sure.
it's
yeah.
like that's the kind of stuff happening today, all that kind of parallels and layers and whatnot. Yeah. else I liked?
What?
I'm glad that one guy didn't die.
The Asian guy?
Yeah.
Maybe he's Asian?
No, he's like Polynesian-ish.
Okay, fine.
I need to look him up, but I like him.
Alright.
I like him a lot.
Polynesian, Asian guys.
Yeah.
I feel like you like Polynesian/Asian guys more than I like Asian girls.
Well,
Even though, like, for a long time I always said Asian girls are my thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's an Asian girl in this movie, and honestly, I didn't really care whether or not she lived or died.
I like that
She was
Dr. Dre
okay,
is in
I
it
guess.
though.
Dr. Dre, sure.
Yeah.
The guy from Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, I'm glad
he's
doing.
in everything now.
I'm
It's
glad.
insane.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
but
glad.
like he's in everything now.
Good
I don't
for
understand
him.
how like an actor can pull that off. Tom Hiddleston.
I didn't realize he was in this movie.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Let's see what else. You know, it's because really quick spoilers, somewhat spoilers. So while we were watching the credits, I looked up online just out of curiosity, because the whole time during this movie I'm like, you know what? I hope they're building towards they need to make a King Kong Godzilla crossover.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I know, but did you know that before?
Yeah, I feel like I think I did.
I didn't know that, and I was wondering the possibility of it, so I looked online. Legendary Films is the film and production company that made this, and they're the ones that also made Godzilla, the new Godzilla reboot. They also made Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
I think they made Cloverfield as well.
Oh, that makes sense. Very much those big, giant destruction movies.
Right.
Like big violence, and it's
Right.
big.
So it's not an impossibility, and so again, remember spoilers. At the end, they tease after the credits, which is probably one of the better post-credits teasers I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Is that they tease the Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, all those legendary monsters from classic monster films.
Oh.
It's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing how
Yeah.
they tie that in together. And then fast forward into the future, maybe it's Pacific Rim all over again.
Yeah.
Because that was the explanation. Where do these monsters come from? Oh, they come from a hole in the Pacific Ocean. Or
Yep.
somewhere in the
They're
Pacific.
out there. Monsters.
Yeah, in fact, how did that... Well, you didn't watch Pacific Rim, but in Pacific Rim, that's what happened is there's a hole at the bottom of somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, and what happened then? Did they nuke Kong Island? Excuse me. Did they nuke Kong Island? And Skull Island, excuse me. And that ends up underwater, but the hole underground is still there in Pacific Rim, which is I don't know, 100 years from now, something like that.
Cool.
So kind of cool. I wonder if they might just tie all that stuff in together. I hope they do. I'd like to see how that works out. Anyway, things you did not like about the film.
I don't like when people die.
Yeah.
And they just, it's like...
There were a lot of expendable characters, though.
Yeah,
they had a lot
it
of
was
people
that
going
kind of
on.
movie though, where it's you start off with a lot of people and then you end up with 5.
Yeah, but did you?
And,
how many of those characters did you really care about, though? I feel like a lot of those characters, unfortunately, I did not care too much about.
Yeah. The ones that were left was the ones I pretty much cared about, I suppose.
What about the guy who was writing to his son?
Yeah, that's pretty sad. I don't know.
Yeah,
I love, what's the guy? The guy in Step Brothers.
And Step Brothers. Oh, John.
I
John
love
C.
him
Reilly.
so much. It just
Yeah.
made me so happy. And,
He did a good job.
he's such a great person. And I'm
Oh, yeah.
it's every 3 minutes I was just I love this guy.
That
I
scene
love
where
it.
he pulled out the samurai sword too.
I know.
And then there was also that really cool sequence where Loki puts on the gas mask, and he puts on the sword, and he starts slicing.
It just
through all
gets
those bats,
so
or whatever
ridiculous.
those things are.
It was just
that
so,
scene was way over the top.
I
would
know.
agree, but
it was
still cool.
fun. It was ridiculous but fun.
Yeah,
That's what a movie is for. Samuel L.
One thing-
Jackson, bless him.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson did a good job,
Bless
especially
him.
his line. He always, every movie he has to have a famous iconic.
He needs
line.
to say a cuss word too.
And this one was "Bis, please" or something like that. Anyway,
Bless him.
okay, so things I didn't really I didn't really like about the film. One, how do they engulf King Kong in napalm? Literal napalm. A lake full of napalm. And he's
well,
like,
it doesn't
and
mix
he's
with the
still
water.
okay.
It's like oil.
No, napalm is designed to be that way.
Well, I mean, they don't know. He's hella strong. He's a...
Yeah, I
he's hella
suppose so.
strong.
But I mean, come on, like that's severe burns all over his
Well, but that, like, he's a giant monkey. He got, like,
His name-
hella thick skin. Like,
Yeah, I
you
guess.
know, they even like compare, like, he like splashes and then it gets on a person. Like, that's gonna kill a human being because it's tiny, but then him is like big.
Yeah,
I don't know.
guess so. All right, but yeah, I can forgive that. Another thing, it's a minor little detail, is that so the enemy, the bad monsters, are the ones the skull. What are they? Skull eaters or whatever they're
I don't
called.
know. Yeah.
Anyway, they're like little lizards, and
They're like big lizards.
yeah, and they go and they supposedly eat people. Where in reality, I don't think the design of these monsters are realistic because one, predators, from an evolutionary standpoint, never have their eyes here on the sides of their heads.
But that's how lizards are.
I know, but lizards aren't carnivores typically.
Well,
But
this is
a carnivore, for example, a T-Rex has his eyes forward because it is a predatory lizard.
eyes
Where-
forward.
Like us humans, we have our eyes like in
Forward.
front of our heads, just like wolves. Other predatory animals. Whereas animals that are typically prey, such as rabbits, frogs, things like that, their eyes are on the sides of their head. And these lizards, the design of them were like on the sides of their head. So typically that wouldn't make sense from an evolutionary standpoint. But
That's okay.
I can forgive that, Maryland. What else? Is there anything else you didn't like about the film? Or just criticisms?
Nah, it's cool. I went with it.
How did you feel about Academy Award winner Brie Larson? I honestly don't think I've seen any other movie she's been in.
She's in Scott Pilgrim.
I never watched Scott.
She was in Room.
Never watched that one.
She was in... I don't know. That's all I
I
got.
don't know. Well, I mean, honestly, I think any other actress could have been just fine in this role. Like I can imagine any other actress doing just as good. So yeah. Are you excited to see any Godzilla crossover?
Yeah.
Godzilla King Kong crossovers?
Yeah. That's what's crazy now. It's like you get to, like the battle scene is just all computer. Well, I mean, they probably got people in green suits to like try to act it out and like do some moves that would seem, but it's like, it's all, those aren't people. That's just all computer. And that's all it came down to.
Another thing that the last Godzilla was set in our present day time, right? So I wonder how old do they expect King Kong to be?
Like 12.
Well, how
1,000.
what is like what how long can he live is what I'm saying, because if they're going to do a Godzilla King Kong crossover, like where is King Kong in our present day? This is the 1970s ish, and apparently he was alive.
Well, Step Brother said that he's still growing.
Yeah, that's true. They did make that reference, but still, like, he's got cuts and first degree burns.
He's okay.
Yeah. All right, but he is the last of his kind, and that's what they said, is that his family is dead.
You have to save endangered species.
That's true. Protect endangered species, everyone. Anyway, how many giant bugs do you give this out of 10?
6.
6? Okay, I shall give it an 8.5.
Okay.
All right.
So that evens out to about a 7.25.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, King Kong Skull Island. It's
I think it's just Kong.
Oh yeah, just Kong Skull Island. Yes. Well, watch it. It's
You're okay.
you know what?
We watched it for you.
You don't want anyone to see it. All right.
Nah, people
it's
will see
worth
it.
it.
It's
If you're
alright.
interested, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's
If
cool.
if you're interested in the MCU, the Monster Cinematic Universe,
My Chemical Omens.
immense. Yeah, then go see it. It's all right. Anyway, be sure to rate, like, comment, subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at Victor Quan. You can follow me on Twitter at Victor_Quan. I messed that one up. And
On Twitter at HalfConformist. And Instagram at Alexcellent Ann. We've been watching a lot of movies lately.
yes, yeah, we have.
This
Well,
is great.
Hey, it's only gonna happen more often because we got Guardians of the Galaxy coming up, Wonder Woman coming up. I'm looking forward to that. I know you are too. Spider-Man's coming up soon.
Deadpool. Is there a Deadpool?
Not this year, I don't think.
So why is he doing stuff?
Thor's might be coming out this year. I
Why
think.
is there Deadpool stuff going on?
There's just a teaser from the movie Logan.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know what else. Anyway, yep, that's what's coming up, folks. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe. All right. Wish everyone good night.
Good night.